there is one person that President Trump should pardon from federal charges forthwith. It would be incredibly controversial, but I think that it's absolutely necessary. That person is Derrick Chauvin. President Trump should, in fact, pardon Derrick Chauvin. He should. He should pardon him his federal charges. If we are talking about reversing the evils of the last several years in American life, obviously COVID and its handling was a massive evil. Destroyed the economy, set us on a path to fiscal insanity, destroyed children, led to massive health-related cover-ups, just horrifying all the way around. And President Trump has taken on a lot of those things. But when it came to BLM, the inciting event for the BLM riots that caused $2 billion in property damage in the United States and set America's race relations on their worst footing in my lifetime, was in fact the railroading of Derrick Chauvin in the death of George Floyd. The evidence demonstrates that Derrick Chauvin did not, in fact, commit murder of George Floyd. George Floyd was high on. He had a significant pre-existing heart condition. George Floyd was saying he could not breathe before he was even out of the car. He was in the car saying he could not breathe. Derrick Chauvin, for large segments of even the tape that was shown, had his knee on George Floyd's shoulder or back, not on his neck. The autopsy of George Floyd showed that he had no damage to his trachea, that probably George Floyd died of excited delirium. There were no accusations, even at trial, that Derrick Chauvin had committed a hate crime against George Floyd or that he targeted George Floyd because of his race. Nonetheless, on the basis of extraordinarily scanty evidence, and despite the fact that there was massive pressure on the jury, that the mayor of Minneapolis paid a settlement to the George Floyd family immediately, that the president of the United States suggested that Derrick Chauvin was guilty right off the bat, that the jurors were being openly threatened and admitted as much. Despite all of that, Derrick Chauvin was convicted on federal charges and pled guilty to federal charges. Derrick Chauvin should, in fact, be pardoned on that. We will be covering that a lot more in coming weeks because I think it is worthwhile to remember that there is a man who is rotting in prison because the media decided in the middle of 2020 that they were going to turn a tragic law enforcement stop that ended with the death of a man who had a significant problem with drugs and pre-existing health problems into the raison d'etre of the entire 2020 election.
So, let's talk about Ben Shapiro, right? Now, let me state that I'm no fan of BLM. I could care less about BLM, right? And so, like, I don't give a shit about Democrats, Republicans, BLM, et cetera, et cetera. But let's get down to what he said. He said that the guy, Derrick Chauvin, the officer that was charged with suffocating this guy on the sidewalk, he didn't do it. He was railroaded. Now, I'm just, where in the history of America was there ever one case where a white man, right, whether a white Jew, white Anglo-Saxon, Christian, whatever, right, Judeo-Christian, whatever, was ever railroaded by a bunch of black people or whatever, you know, and then, you know, I guess, in this case, you know, and lynched or something, right? He's saying Derrick, in a court, now he's saying that this was all done in the court, that they illegally violated Derrick Chauvin rights. He didn't do anything wrong at all. He didn't hurt, this man died on his own, you know, while he was, I guess, investigating him for a crime or whatever. And he got railroaded for, you know, suffocating this dude, choking him out. But he didn't do it. He didn't do it, right? He didn't do, as they call black people, right? He was done wrong. And he got railroaded by these, you know, by some black people. And, you know, got illegally violated, you know, his civil rights and all this shit got violated. And it was you know, he should be pardoned because it was a you know, kangaroo court, right? This is This is what Ben Shapiro is saying, this Jewish man, right? But you gotta look a little bit deeper, you see, into why he's doing this, right? I mean, number one, it's no way any court in America will ever convict some white police officer, right, without no evidence and railroad him, or whatever, and then charge him, lock him up for a bunch of trumped up charges that weren't real. This is what he's saying. That they went, this guy, he just, died of a heart attack on a traffic stop, or whatever, right? He was on drugs. He had a seizure, died, and then they somehow railroaded this guy, this officer Chauvin, and blah, 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 BLM, or all the catchphrases, right? What's really going on here is the question, right? What is really going on? And why would somebody like this Shapiro character thrust himself into the middle of this? Is the question, right? Because we all know that's bullshit. There's no way, whether that they would lock this guy up if there was no evidence. They're not going to convict a white police officer on, they barely, when they catch them doing something, they get on camera, they want to prosecute them. And so, but he wants you to believe this. This is the story he wants to push out here, right? And then get Trump to overturn the case. Who put the battery in his back is the question to do this all of a sudden. Because you remember, he used to hang out with Candace Owens. She was spouting the same thing that he's doing now. So he picked some of that rhetoric up from her, and then he picked up the ball, and now he's like, Trump needs to pardon this guy, and he wants to get loud about it. Right? Excuse me. So you have to ask yourself, right? Why is Derrick Chauvin, why is Ben Shapiro thrusting himself in the middle of this? I guess would be the question, right? And so just look at who he is, right? Why is this Jewish man, this small hat with this yarmulke sitting up here, thrusting himself in the middle of this whole thing? What is his motivation, right? As Sun Tzu said, never attack an enemy, attack their strategy, right? What is the motivation of a Ben Shapiro? Who is he? He's Jewish. Okay. What is that? The number two, here's a fun fact for you. Because Negroes are silly in America, right? They serious about silly shit, and they silly about serious shit. The number two in charge of the Confederacy that wanted to keep blacks and slaves and own slaves was a man named Judah P. Benjamin, who was a so-called Jew. That's a fun fact for you, if you want to know why Ben Shapiro is doing what he's doing. You see? See, Ben Shapiro is, anti-black racist. And he wants to send a message. His people basically want to send a message to, black people. That's all that is. They want to send you a message by trying to do this. And I hope they do it, personally. I hope that Ben Shapiro is the face of the campaign to get Chauvin released by Trump. I hope they do it. Please do it. Please do that shit. That shit'll be awesome. And that way you can have a Jewish poster boy, right? Standing up there with, with Chauvin, hugging with his yarmulke on in front of all of the Negroes in America, right? Thumbing his nose at you. That shit is perfect. Because I already know that they some racist, anti-blacks, and they, some Nazis. So for Ben Shapiro to get Chauvin out of, the campaign to get Chauvin out of jail, Trump to do it, and then he, obviously stand up there hugging Derrick Chauvin. Dude, the optics on that would be wonderful for me, right? Because I'm a firm believer in, a fool that persists in their foolishness shall become wise, right? So be as horrible as you can be, and let's just see what happens. Because he think this shit is and then like Negroes need that'd be an awesome Negro wake up call. Not that it would change anything. Negroes just be looking around like they didn't even notice what happened. But it would be the optics on that would be awesome, especially for all these Negroes that support Israel, right? They support people like Zelensky, who's a Jew, in Ukraine, a bunch of Nazis over there, right? They support all these foreign countries, Israel and all these people. So it'd be awesome for this yarmulke wearing white Jewish man to stand up and hug Chauvin after getting him pardoned, after all that hoopla with the trial and all of that, right? The optics on that would be awesome as far as I'm concerned. I got no problem with it. You know what I mean? Just like that guy, I should play some of that video, who white girlfriend killed him. Congratulations, you played yourself. Right? The optics on that is awesome, right? Because he was like talking trash about black people, right? And then his white girlfriend kills him. Awesome. The optics on that is awesome. I got no problem with that. Right? None at all. I say more power, more, white women need to marry these black dudes. Get them, we need some type of natural selection to get their ass out the way. So we need more of that. We need more of these white women to marry these, no good Negroes. Right? And off their ass. Right? We need to take up a collection for that. We need to start like a Match.com dating site. For these coons. Because they're useless any motherfucking way. Right? And so the optics on that would be awesome. Awesome. And so, but back to him, this is what you need. It may not be what you want, but it's what you need. So if Ben Shapiro want to jump out the window and do some shit like this, like people are like, it's terrible. No, it's not. It's great. Because you need to understand who your enemies are. You know what I mean? And if they want to jump up and wave a flag in your face, I'd say let them. Because Negroes is fucking dumb as a brick. So if this guy wants to do that and and be the poster boy for getting Chauvin out, I'm all for that shit. Right? I'm 100% behind it. Not for the same reasons he is. Just because I like the optics of it. I like seeing this yarmulke wearing Jewish boy, right, stand up there with this dude and get him out of jail and thumb his nose at every Negro in America with his yarmulke on. So they can get the point. These people are not your friends and they never have been. You think they try to push that shit to you. Right? They run an apartheid state in Israel. That's why he's doing what he's doing. If they run an apartheid state against Arabs, you think they like black Americans? No, if they can, he let you know, if we could, nigga, we bring Jim Crow, apartheid back in the United States on y'all. That's the message he's sending to you. If we could, we would do the same thing to you Negroes today that we doing in Gaza. That's the message that he's sending to you, to the Negro in America. Right? You see? And so, yeah, anyway, I ain't gonna make this too much longer, but I just wanted to, I thought the optics on that was awesome. So I look forward to Derrick Chauvin being pardoned, and I look forward to Ben Shapiro, right? This small hat devil, right? Revelations 2 and 9, the synagogue of Satan, right? The Revelations 2 and 9 says that the false Jew with the small hat on is the synagogue of Satan. Does it not? Am I lying? No, that's what it says, right? And this proves it. You see? This proves, it's just another, way that these people are proving who they are. Their feet run quickly to do evil, right? And call it good. And the Bible says, woe unto those who call evil good and good evil. That's Ben Shapiro. This evil man, evil little devil. Right? This is an evil little devil, little satanic devil with his little small satanic hat on. Anyway, so yeah, I wish Ben Shapiro good luck, and white people in America and Jewish. I wish Jewish people good luck. I say put all your resources and get Derrick Chauvin out. Free Derrick Chauvin now, Jewish people. Ben Shapiro. Matter of fact, I may go get me a free Derrick Chauvin t-shirt to support Ben Shapiro. Let me know where I can donate to Ben Shapiro so they can get Derrick Chauvin out. Right? That's all I got.